to our fun 80s collaboration organised by the wonderful YouTube channel Mollie Makes. All the channels participating in this collaboration are in the description below.
The other channels are showing wonderful recipes from the 1980s, as well as cocktails, wedding cakes, and much more.
We thought it would be fun to think about how we should prepare for this 1980s dinner party. How should we dress?
Well, I could wear this wonderful 1980s style jacket, complete with shoulder pads.
And I could wear these dungarees, the height of 80s fashion.
Perhaps a look at some 1980s pop and fashion icons would help.
The first fashion icon is Brick Girl Julie from back in the day. Here she is with her brother, my Uncle Stephen. Note the big hair, bold makeup and padded shoulders. Hang on, what has Uncle Stephen got crawling on his upper lip?
Perhaps Stephen should have considered this hairstyle, the mullet.
Well, look at what we have here. Obviously the style was not exclusively for the lads.
TV shows such as Dynasty, or Dynasty as we call it, starring the incomparable Joan Collins as Alexis Carrington and Linda Evans as Crystal Carrington. This really had an influence on the 80s fashion scene, as well as portraying the female characters as strong and successful women in their own right. Power dressing, the concept of dressing for success, was very predominant in the 1980s. It was all about female empowerment, particularly in the workplace. Here is British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher wearing a typical power dressing outfit.
80s fashion was also heavily influenced by the pop music world.
The Queen of Pop, Madonna, is listed by Guinness World Records as the world's most successful female recording artist of all time.
Madonna's look and style of dressing became one of the female fashion trends of the 1980s. Created by stylist and jewellery designer Maripol, the look consisted of lace tops, skirts over capri pants, fishnet stockings, jewellery bearing the crucifix, bracelets and bleached hair.
Here are some more pop artists who inspired the fashion of the 1980s.
Cyndi Lauper is known for her distinctive image, featuring a variety of hair colours and eccentric clothing, as well for her powerful singing voice.
Prince Rogers Nelson, yes, Prince was his real name, was one of the greatest musicians of the era, often playing most or sometimes all of the instruments on his recordings. The purple one was flamboyant and original, a huge fashion icon of that period.
British singer Susie Sue was an inspiration for the gothic fashion trend that started in the early 1980s. She's wearing black clothing, back-combed hair and heavy black eyeliner. I modelled my eyeshadow on her today.
David Bowie's 1980 album Scary Monsters and Super Creeps produced the #1 hit single Ashes to Ashes, and the song gave international exposure to the underground New Romantic movement. This movement was influenced by musicians of the glam rock era, in particular David Bowie himself, but also Mark Bolan and Roxy Music. The New Romantics developed fashions inspired by this era, coupled with the early Romantic period of the late 18th and early 19th century, from which the movement took its name.
Vivienne Westwood had already made dresses for the punks of the 70s, and because of this, she was one of the main fashion designers to influence the New Romantic style of flamboyant historical clothing.
Other people who became fashion icons of the 1980s were
Diana, Princess of Wales.
When Diana Spencer first got engaged, she had no interest in fashion, and as a shy young aristocrat, her style was very twee. Lots of Laura Ashley and frills and bows.
It was during the 1980s that Princess Diana went from shy Di to Dynasty Di.
As Diana's love of fashion and her confidence grew, she began to make some bolder fashion choices. She increasingly took control of how she was represented, very cleverly communicating this through the clothes she wore. She became known for her elegant, dynasty-like evening gowns and bold shoulder pads. During the day, she favoured power suits and dresses in bright designs and prints, always worn with matching accessories like pillar box hats. High fashion designers like Azadine Alaïa pioneered new shapes in women's wear.
He was nicknamed the King of Cling as he experimented with fabrics that clung close to the body. He's believed to have invented the use of lycra for garments like the bodysuit, cycling shorts and stretch miniskirt. His designs complemented the fitness craze that began in the 1980s thanks to the likes of Jane Fonda and Olivia Newton-John.
Thierry Mugler created more feminine shapes, with accentuated curves and sharp angular shoulders. He was labelled the prophet of futurism for his revolutionary take on fashion, using vibrant colours and theatrical elements.
American sportswear designers Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren became global names during the 1980s. Jean-Paul Gaultier is a French fashion designer. He is known for his unconventional designs with motifs including corsets, marionettes and tin cans.
There are so many 1980s styles, trends and fashion icons. What and who is your favourite?
Here is a list of all the channels collaborating in the 1980s dinner party project.
Links in the description.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.